First at 4, no day off for Storm Tracker 4 as more showers and a couple of thunderstorms are moving through southeast Michigan. Some relief from the rain, though, is in sight. We'll talk about it coming up.
We also have breaking news with new test results on the Huron River after a chemical spill. The news is encouraging, and new charges in the death of Breonna Taylor. Supporters say the federal case also sends a message about how so many other women have been treated. It's all next, first at 4.
Live from downtown Detroit, Local 4 News First at 4 starts now.
Good afternoon, I'm Karen Drew. Get ready. Buckle up for rain, heavy downpours, and lightning. This is going to happen in the next few hours. Not everyone's going to be affected, but it is the second day in a row that we're watching the radar very closely. Let's get right to Brett Collar for a look at where things stand right now.
Yeah, as advertised, there are a few moving through southeast Michigan, and I emphasize the word few because some of us have been dry all day and may finish that way as well. But those of us that are seeing the rain, it's coming down at a pretty good clip. Much of Washtenaw County getting in on the action right now with some heavy rain just north of Ann Arbor, south of Hamburg, out towards Manchester as well. Mainly just some light rain at the moment, but there are some heavier downpours in parts of Livingston County. We'll also move here into Oakland County and zoom in a little bit closer as we are seeing some pretty heavy rain in the Farmington Hills area over towards Birmingham, Sterling Heights. Decent rain falling. This will continue for the next couple of hours. They're not moving very fast either, so kind of at a snail's pace, but they will taper down this evening. More dry time this weekend. We'll get a peek at that weekend forecast coming up in just a bit.
All right, thanks, Brett. We got breaking news from the State Department of Health concerning the Huron River. Test results from 9 samples show no detectable presence of the chemical hexavalent chromium. The warning against fishing and getting into the water does remain in effect between North Wixom Road in Oakland County and Kensington Road in Livingston County. A local manufacturer admitted a spill of the chemical. Now, for now, testing will continue. We'll keep you posted. There's also breaking news about America's fight against monkeypox. Sources say the United States will declare a public health emergency. So far, more than 6,600 Americans have been infected. The announcement of the health emergency would free up federal money and other resources to fight the virus. Clinics in major cities like New York and San Francisco say they haven't received enough of the 2-shot vaccines to meet demand. The virus spreads through prolonged and close skin-to-skin contact, as well as sharing bedding, towels, or clothing. New at 5, we'll check in with Dr. Frank McGeorge on the impact of the declaration. The Major Crimes Department is investigating the shooting of a 3-year-old girl on Detroit's west side. It was reported just after midnight and tracked to a home on Littlefield. Police now say 2 children got their hands on an assault rifle and were playing with that gun in a closet. The other child was 4 years old. Not clear how the gun went off. The gun was later found a few blocks away outside of an abandoned school. Investigators are talking to several adults who were in that home. Not clear exactly who owned the gun. The 3-year-old is recovering this afternoon. We'll keep you posted if there are any charges or arrests. Well, there's a feeling of vindication today for those who've been pushing for charges in the death of Breonna Taylor. The U.S. Justice Department is prosecuting 4 current and former police officers. Here's some of the reaction in Louisville.
Say her name.
Breonna Taylor.
Say her name.
Breonna Taylor.
Say her name.
Breonna Taylor.
The Attorney General announced the charges just a few hours ago. Kim Gill in the newsroom with the latest reaction. Kim.
Hi, Karen. Good afternoon. Yeah, this case, started back in 2020 with a botched drug raid that led to the shooting death of Breonna Taylor when she was just 26 years old. You may remember Taylor was killed when Louisville police officers burst into her apartment. Taylor's boyfriend fired a shot in self-defense, and they fired back, hitting Taylor multiple times. Today, Attorney General Merrick Garland charged 4 Louisville police officers with a range of counts, including unlawful conspiracies, use of force, and obstruction of justice. Garland said very simply that Breonna Taylor should still be alive today. Her supporters say the charges send a message that goes beyond Breonna Taylor.
It's about Breonna and all the other Breonnas across America, the black women who have been denied justice throughout the history of this country when they have been abused, assaulted, murdered, raped, and disregarded.
This is another attempt to hold someone responsible for Taylor's death. Previously, one officer, Brett Hankinson, was charged with wanton endangerment. He was acquitted on those state charges earlier this year. He is one of the 4 officers, too, now facing federal charges. We'll, of course, keep you posted as the case moves forward. For now, Karen, we'll send it back to you.
All right. Thank you, Kim.
Sure.
Well, it wasn't really a surprise, but it had to be very difficult for Brittney Griner's family and friends to hear the verdict from a Russian judge. Today, the WNBA star was convicted on charges of drug possession and smuggling for having vape canisters and cannabis oil in her luggage when she arrived in Moscow back in February. Now, Griner begged for mercy, saying she hoped the ruling doesn't end her life. The judge sentenced Griner to 9 years in prison. The U.S. government says the fight is not over.
This is a miscarriage of justice. The U.S. Department of State has determined that Ms. Griner was wrongfully detained. Nothing in today's decision changes that determination. President Biden's national security team and the entire American government remain committed to bringing Ms. Griner home safely to her family, friends, and loved ones.
Griner could still be a part of a high-profile prisoner swap as she was led from the courtroom. She simply said, quote, "I love my family." Here at home, we are hearing a plea to save pieces of local history. Did you know Detroit is called one of the arsenals of democracy because of its automotive and military contributions during World War II? Pieces of that history could be stored in some surprising places. Paula Tutman shows us if you find what seems to be old junk, don't be so quick to throw it away.
So this is a really exciting treat because we are actually riding. We're in the front seat of history for all intent and purposes. So this is a 1956 Packard Executive. They were the luxury car, the Rolls Royce of America's vehicles in the 1930s through World War II. So much history. But not just Packard. When we talk about where we live, the longitude and latitude of living in Michigan, just because of all of the things we bring to the nation's history, those items that you find in your closet or the attic, or maybe a house that you purchased and there's a bunch of stuff in the corner, don't throw it away because it might actually have historical importance. And in fact, we happened to be at the Packard Proving Grounds in Shelby Township when Ted Summer came in with a cache of items from his dad's house.
This is all Packard memorabilia of the Packard Club. Packard.
Do you have any idea of the historic importance, or you don't really?
I probably don't know. Yeah, I don't know that much, that part of it.
His dad was Dan Summer, who was on the board of the facility many years ago. And as one of the founding members of the Packard Club, he had stuff, and it turns out pretty important stuff.
This is an original ad. He has some things from the 20s, the 1930s.
And when he walked in with it, the gleam in the eyes was undeniable of on-site historian and curator Kim Parr and donations and collections manager 86-year-old Dave Dolby. They were pretty excited.
That's a Packard owner's manual for the Packard 8. And it's in pretty good condition. It always raises the excitement for all of us because we never know what we're going to find.
This, to me, as a historian, I love stuff like this because it tells a little more of a story of not just the car, but of the era and what's going on. Here's America's first post-war convertible. And the thing that I love about Packard and advertisements is how they advertise to women. They loved women.
But besides just Packard, just by being in Michigan, we have direct proximity to greatness in history, and sometimes we don't even know it.
Some people might think something's junk, and it's not. And before they throw it away, question it and seek out a museum like us to see if they can use it.
Yeah, you know what? Not everything is going to rise to the occasion of the discovery of a pyramid or Tutankhamun's treasures, but so many of us, because of our proximity to innovation barons, we have pieces of history, and we may not know they're pieces of history. And historians are saddened because they know some of those things are ending up on the curb. And so they say, don't throw stuff away. When in doubt, don't throw it out. Find an expert and ask first, Karen.
Such an important story. All right. Thank you, Paula.